Hello friends and welcome back to my stream. My name is Doña, aka Doña the Light, and today is Monday. Happy Monday. Today we're going to be speaking about how to balance imbalanced relationships. And these could be platonic, romantic, familial, what have you. If this is your first time here and you're catching this live stream on Twitch, thank you for being here. Feel free to participate in the chat. This will be a community conversation, as all my streams are. If you're catching this replay on YouTube, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's a great free way to support my channel, as well as give this a thumbs up like so that other people can find this, so that you can, see more of my videos. Essentially, this is going to play out like a video podcast, so do not feel compelled or like you have to watch the video. Just listen in. Today's stream, just like all other streams, is sponsored by myself. Sponsored by my Etsy shop, my mental health focused clothing and healing jewelry Etsy shop, under the same name, Doña the Light. If you'd like to, excuse me, support me in ways that require money, purchasing things from my Etsy shop is a great way to do so. So I have tons of wonderful items. Everything is print on demand, other than the stones and the pendants and the rings and things like that. All those are hand wrapped and created by myself personally. But printing on demand is a really great way to, save the planet, because I don't have to go out and purchase hundreds of things only for, a few of them to be sold. So, yeah, I've got t-shirts, I've got hoodies, I've got sweatshirts, I've got hats, I've got wall art, I've got lots of mugs. Excuse me, I've got tumblers, I've got a journal, some tote bags, hoodies as I mentioned, long sleeve crop top, and stickers. So yeah, if you're interested in supporting me in a way that requires money, the shop link will be here in the Twitch chat, as well as in the description of my YouTube video. So let's dive right in, friends. Oh, little baby. What's the deal? So yesterday we were talking about people pleasing a little bit more. And one of my chatters and myself recognized that the people pleasing tendency of giving so much more than you receive in relationships actually causes a lot of imbalance in the relationships in our lives. And I felt like, this would be a really great topic to talk about, because it's something that I know a lot of people struggle with and often don't have the steps to how to balance this or recover from this or fix this issue, right? So first and foremost, when we talk about giving more than you receive in relationships, we're talking about the way that you and the other person show up in the relationship. It could be that you are constantly reaching out to the person. It could be that you were constantly, providing resources to them, whether that be, financial resources, etc., and there is no reciprocity. But keep in mind that within your relationship, things are never going to be 50-50. It would just be, I don't know, it would be really, really interesting. I'm sure you can probably get really close to 50-50 with some relationships, like 48-52. But 50-50 is basically impossible because it's based on perception. And so essentially, you would have to do exactly what the other person expects, and the other person would have to do exactly what you expect, in order to meet that 50-50. So balance is just getting to a place where you both feel good and you both feel as though the relationship is beneficial to you, because let's be honest, there's really no point in having relationships in our lives if they don't benefit us in some sort of way. And the benefit doesn't have to be one-sided, and that's the primary purpose of this conversation, is to really illustrate that both people should be benefiting from the relationship in ways that feel good to them. And what I mean by that is, if you require a certain level of emotional intelligence from people who you are in a relationship with, or people who you share space with, such as your family, friends, etc., but that's not a requirement of theirs, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no reciprocity in the relationship. Because they may provide emotional intelligence for you, but they may not need that from you, if that makes sense. But there could still be reciprocity in the relationship. You know, there could be something else that you provide to them or for them that they feel that reciprocity. Zoom. What's up, Raylene? How are you doing, my love? Good afternoon. Have you had lunch today? If so, what did you eat? I'd love to know. So, where this imbalance usually occurs is typically when we start the relationship. And what I hear from most people is, why do I always attract, or why do people who do this always find me, right? People who want to take more than they give. People who want to, quote unquote, take advantage of other people. Why am I always attracting people who want to just take? Raylene says, I'm good. Haven't had lunch, but cereal just now. One of those days. How are you? I feel you. It's weird and rainy outside. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling hungry all of a sudden. As soon as I asked you about food, now I'm feeling hungry. But I have my coffee that I'm going to sip on in the meantime during the stream, waiting for DJ to get back from the Grams. Jones redeemed second in the chat. Welcome in, Jones love. But yeah, so people always feel as though, I got no notification. What is this? It's only 6 minutes, boo? I don't know, love. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I can't even. Yo, that emo is creepy, Raylene. Big creepy. Big creepy, but it's okay. Goddess redeemed third in the chat. Welcome in, Goddess. So people feel as though it's the fault of others, right? What the hell is that? I know, right? Isn't it creepy? It kind of looks like demented Bart. Do you know what I mean from The Simpsons? I don't know. It's something. Oh my goodness. So that's the conversation, right? They'll vent to their friends and they'll say, or they'll vent to somebody, or maybe they'll write it on social media. Good morning, Goddess. How you feeling, boo? Bart needs some help. You do. And they'll say, you know, why is it that I always attract these people? Typically it's because of a few things, but primarily it's because that's who we're comfortable with. And so those are the traits that we actually seek out in people without even recognizing it, right? So until we begin to take a really close look at ourselves and say, why am I allowing this relationship to be this way? It is, oh my goodness. It is demented Bart. That emo needs some Doña coaching. What is that? Okay, that looks like handsome Squidward Bart. I don't even know how to feel about that. Goddess says, feeling well rested. How are you doing today? I'm feeling good. Is that handsome Bart? Yes. It's handsome Squidward Bart. I'm feeling good. I was just telling Raylene that I asked her about if she had eaten. And now I'm feeling hungry, but I have my coffee. But I'm feeling good. Jonesy, how are you feeling? Baby boy's over here chilling. He looks like he's going to fall back asleep. So let's think about it for a moment. So for me, and I've shared this a couple times, but for me, I had to look at it as, why am I constantly attracting people who just contact me when they need something? You know, they only contact me when they need something. And then I had to take a critical look at myself and say, okay, well, how did I begin this relationship, right? Like I spoke about this yesterday, the gal who I met at the gym, who I was just like, oh my God, we're friends. We're going to be the bestest friends. You have children, I have children. You're in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. Oh my goodness, best of first for life. And so I was super stoked to meet her. And in addition, she was at the gym trying to get strong. And I was like, we finna get strong together, girl. We finna do this. So, I'm in limbo. I feel good and elevated. Ayy. Elevated. I feel that. So then I had to think about it. Like I said, how did I begin this relationship? Well, the primary driver behind the conversations between her and I was that I wanted to help. I wanted to guide her. I wanted to help her with her marriage. I wanted to help her in the gym. I wanted to help her do all of these things, right? I'm just like pouring myself, excuse me. Oh my goodness, the dragon's being bred. What is that purple concoction? Oh, I gotta show y'all. Speaking of dragons, let's see. Let's check her out real quick. Aw, she's cute. All right, so check out this dragon. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Okay, so y'all remember little homie from yesterday, right? Little homie from yesterday. Okay, look at him. Appreciate the adorableness. Oh, her. I'm sorry. She's a she. She's a she. All right, now we got upgraded homie. Upgraded little homie. Look at her uneven eyeballs. That's how you know she real. She got uneven eyeballs, yo. Uneven eyeballs. Grover said that I should put the little one inside of the big one. I was like, no. He said she could wear her as like a mask. I was like, nah. Check out these little feet. So I just want to let y'all know, if you sign up for coaching with me, I'm going to mail you one of these. I'm going to mail you one of these. And it could be whatever you want. It could be your inner child that needs some love. It could be your inner hunger that needs to be fed. It could be whatever. It could just be your little homie. Whatever you want her to be, she will be for you, okay? How do I grab my pet? Is this my pet? Yeah, it is my pet. I made that thing way, way big. Anywho, thank you for breeding the Dragon Jones. She's adorable. Absolutely I'm going to mail them. I think I'm going to make like 2 more. Well, I'm going to make more. But yeah, I'm absolutely going to mail them. Absolutely going to mail them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyways, I'm super excited about that. I probably shouldn't be so excited, but I am. They're really fun to make. Oh, also, this little bear, I did not make this bear. One of my clients, her sister-in-law made this little bear for Kairu. And, this would be, like, amazing if I could make this, you know? Like, it's, like, stuffed and... Look at its face. It's so cute. But that's what I wanted. I wanted, like, these kinds of things for the face on my little dudes. So that's what I might do before I mail them, is I might, go to the craft store and get these little button eyes or something. I know, right? It's so cute. Hi. Hello. Kyrie's been kind of loving it this morning. Ooh, look at him. He's trying to eat his face. Look at him. Ah! Don't drop the bear. Anyways, back on topic. Okay. He's getting sleepy, so he's all wiggly and whatnot. I know you're sleepy. Just let it happen, Kyrie. Just let it happen. Made the mistake of nursing him because I was like, oh, maybe he wants to nurse. And then he spit up milk all over my arm. Anyways, I began this relationship. I dove head in, and I was like, I'm doing all the things. I'm helping this woman with anything she needs. I am there. Anything she needs, I am there. I sacrificed myself, my time. Although at the time it didn't feel like a sacrifice because I thought, but we're going to be such great friends. You know, we're going to have such a great, awesome, wonderful relationship because, wait, this topic is me. I was like, we're going to have, gotta go. Jones. I said, we're going to have the most amazing relationship because we talk all the time. Our communication is top notch. I am constantly, we're all getting called out today. I'm calling myself out too. This is my personal story. Like, oh no, Jones, I got you, boo. I got you. There is light on the other side of the tunnel. I pinky swear. But yeah, I poured my heart and soul into this relationship. Not Shoomy. It's the Shoomster. And I was just there all the time. I was like, what's up, baby? Like, what you need? Oh, you need a hug? I got you. Oh, you need some Starbucks? I got you. Oh, you need me to come over and hang out with you and your kids, you know, while we, like, you know, do housework and vent? I got you. Was that ever reciprocated? No. Did I ever even ask her to reciprocate? No. Why? Because I got it. I don't need no help. I'm good. I don't need no help. Not at all. Like, I'm solid. I don't need that from nobody. I am so good, in fact, that I will voluntarily, continuously pour and pour and pour and pour and pour and pour and pour into people because I just got it like that. You know what I mean? Like, my life is great. Everything's good. Yeah, I got, like, little issues here and there, but it's not nothing I really have to, like, vent to anybody about. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, I'm good. I got it. I'm solid, right? So, good morning, Fergie Ferg. Oh, that's a regular email. How are you, sweetie cakes? Fergie Ferg's in the chat, y'all. Feeding the dragon. So, it wasn't until we had known each other. We've been working out, going to the gym pretty much every day for like, I don't know, let's just say like 3 months, right? And then I started noticing a pattern that every time, and there were two things about this, right? One part was the fact that she would only reach out to me when she was struggling with something, only. And of course, like I mentioned yesterday, she would give that generic, hey, how's it going? How you doing? And I'd be like, I'm fine, what's up? Like, what you need? You know what I mean? Because I knew that she was going to be asking me for something. So I noticed this pattern of her always reaching out for something from me. Not only that, I also noticed that she was always struggling with the same kind of problems. Like, there were maybe 2 or 3 problems that she was constantly struggling with. And regardless of how many times I gave her advice or told her how to work through this, she ain't do it. It just came back into her life in some different situation, in some different person or whatever. But she was constantly struggling with the same kind of problem. And she never actually utilized my advice because she didn't want to take accountability for the fact that, you know, even though when we have the conversation, she'd be like, that makes so much sense. Thank you for the lurk, Fergie Ferg. Appreciate and love you, boo. She'd be like, that makes so much sense. She'd be like, oh my goodness, I see exactly where you're coming from. You know, I could see how doing blank would make sense to fix whatever, but she ain't never do it. Never. Right? So, these are the patterns that I'm noticing. And then something happens in my life. I don't remember what it was, but it was something in which I needed some support. And there was a part of me that's like, okay, a part of me went back to my passive aggressive tendencies, right? And so I would just like, my mom would say, make your face like a fist. I would like look really solemn. You know, she'd reach out to me and I would be like, hey, I'm fine. You know, and then she would ask me, like, hey, like, do you want to talk about something? Nah, I'm good. You know, why? Because I wanted her to beg. I wanted her to cry. I wanted her to get down on her knees and be like, Doña, please tell me what's wrong with you. Let me help you. And I'd be like, okay, we could talk about it. But because that didn't happen, I was like, nah, it's okay. I'm good. I don't want to talk about it. So we just continued this relationship for a little while longer. And then the gyms closed. COVID happened. The panorama happened, y'all. The panorama happened. And in our area, I mean, like everyone's area, the gyms closed. And that was like our common place. We would go to the gym together, like I said, damn near every day. And even on the days that we would like rest, sometimes we would still hang out together. So the panorama happened, the pandemic happened, and all the gyms closed. So we lost our common ground. So then she started going to another gym that wasn't that far, but we both have children. And this gym did not have a kids club like the other gym that we went to had. So it was like this weird kind of shuffling balance type thing that we had to do in order to get to the gym. You know what I mean? Because we couldn't just go with our kids and put them in kids club and then that'd be it. It was a lot. So that actually is what caused the real fizzle in our relationship. And that's when I also knew that our relationship wasn't based on anything of substance. Because all it took was for us to not have that commonplace anymore. Mind you, we physically lived like 10, 15 minutes away from each other. Like, we lived super duper close. But because we didn't have that commonplace anymore, because that's, you know, where we would have most of our conversations would be in the gym. Whether it be about gym stuff or whether it be about her life that I was constantly advising her on. So when the gyms closed, you know, that was it. And so that also really opened my eyes, because in a genuine, real relationship, something like that wouldn't, you know, end the relationship. It might prevent y'all from seeing each other as often, absolutely, because, you know, that was something that was done consistently, etc., you know, as we try to get back into the swing of things. And then when the pandemic happened, it was also really, really scary, because, like, people didn't know if they were still going to have jobs. It was a time of high uncertainty. So that's what made it really, really scary. So a lot was happening. But said all that to say, she never, after that I can remember, reached out and was like, hey, how are you? Like, hey, can we come over? I remember them coming over, but I don't think it was before. I don't think it was after that. Her and her kids came over and hung out with me and DJ. But yeah, so that was it. Our relationship just fizzled out. That was it. A part of me is happy that she didn't continuously reach out for help even after, that happened. But yeah, that was it. That was the end of our relationship. Fast forward to once I really began getting into my healing journey, I met a wonderful woman named Sabrina, aka my best friend. And I slid into her DMs on Instagram and I was like, yo girl, I love you. Or something like that. We should be friends. I said something like that. She is also a yoga teacher. At the time she was teaching yoga pretty regularly. I don't even remember what post. Like I could scroll through our Instagram DMs and eventually get to the top and probably I'll still see, whatever message it was that I sent to her. So we started communicating. And there was something about her that made me feel very safe in communicating with her. And so I shared, she shared. We both offered each other support. And that was the very first time. Like, it felt surreal because I've always wanted to, first of all, have that type of relationship with someone, but mostly have that type of relationship with another woman. Because I don't have that relationship with my mom, and I don't have any sisters. I have a half-sister who lives, like, out of state, but I don't have any sisters. The closest person I have to a sister is my sister cousin, Hannah, but she doesn't live near me. So I've always craved being close, with another woman and being able to communicate and have that bond and feel that safety and all that stuff. Even though she lives in a whole nother state, we hit it off. And so we just started communicating damn near every day. And it was phenomenal. And it was my first taste of real, genuine, reciprocal friendship. And we had our ups and downs and we've had struggles together, but we're still close as shit. Like, it's amazing. Raylene says, to me, this brings up the question of what even is a friendship. I feel like I have no models or examples I can really analyze for friendship. One where it's completely 50-50. The only place I've seen the only place I've seen healthy relationship is in romantic ones because people have the partner title, which makes it so that there's more effort to fix stuff. I feel like in friendship, it's not quote unquote normal to put the same effort in with romantic relationships. I get that with needing a close female friend. It's a really strong need. Absolutely, right? So I hear exactly what you're saying, Raylene, and I completely agree. And I believe that was one of the reasons why it took me so long to realize that the relationships that I was creating or situationships or whatever were not actual friendships. It wasn't until I started my healing journey and I started recognizing what I did and didn't want from people. That's really where it started for me. It's like, okay, if I'm speaking to someone, what would I appreciate? Because all you can really do in any kind of relationship or romantic relationship or whatever is let people know kind of what you need in the relationship. But to your point, if you don't have any examples or models of what a relationship looks like, you might feel like whatever you're asking for is too much, or your standards are too high, your expectations are too high, whatever. But the reality is they're not. They're absolutely not. And I would always consider thinking of it from an emotional level. Like, how would you like someone to show up for you? And then also, how do you show up for other people? The scary thing about it is the only real way that we can connect with people and kind of practice this is to put ourselves out there and talk to people. You know what I mean? Like, through social media, through other kinds of avenues. Another thing that also has to happen, which is something that Sabrina and I have really done, is even platonic relationships require work. All relationships require work. It doesn't matter, like, whatever role you're in, like, if you want that role to thrive, whether it be your role as a wife, your role as a friend, a best friend, an employee, a mother, a sister, whatever, any of those roles, you have to put in work in order for that role or that relationship to thrive. You can't just exist. Like, I couldn't just exist in Kairu's life and expect for our relationship to thrive. Same thing for DJ. I couldn't just exist. Baby boy, what do you need? He's like, you're not speaking directly to me, so I'm just gonna keep making noise. But yeah, I believe that the biggest indicator for me that there was reciprocity in the relationship between Sabrina and I is, number one, we checked in with each other constantly, and number two, even though it was hard as hell, we still showed up and had conversations when she needed me to show up for her and I didn't, and vice versa. We had those really sticky, uncomfortable, oh my goodness, are we about to break up kind of conversations. And I feel like there's a certain part of me that kind of treats my relationship with Sabrina like a romantic relationship, in that, like, I want our relationship to thrive. I want her to be able to come to me and say, hey, I shared this with you and I really needed this from you and you just did not show up. So that I know moving forward what she needs from me, when she asks these questions, or when she says, hey, I'm going through this and blah, 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 blah. Now I know moving forward this is what she needs from me at the time. Sundai's here. Hi, Sundai. Relene says, facts, all relationships need work. I just haven't found people who want to put the same amount of work in, so much that I now feel like there's no one out there that matches. Makes me wonder how on earth people have friend groups when it's so hard to find that right friend in the first place. And you know what? When it comes to friend groups, I think those are just based on one specific thing. Like, a friend group might be based on gaming, or it might be based on anime, or it might be based on the gym, or you know what I mean? I feel like there's a common interest that keeps those friend groups alive. But to your point, one of my clients, I was just talking to him maybe 2 weeks ago about his friend group, and he was telling me that he's noticing that his friends do not show up for him the way that they show up for each other. His example was, his birthday was like, I think, the end of December, and he invited everyone to do something. People said yes, and then last minute either canceled or didn't show up. But then someone else in the group can post in the group chat and say, hey, y'all, like, today's Monday. Hey, today in 2 hours, I'm going to do something. Everyone's like, hell yeah, we down. Like, everybody shows up. Everyone's gung-ho. You know what I mean? So he said that he's starting to reconsider. And he said, I asked him, like, first of all, did you confront the people? Because people have to know what they did wrong in order you got to give people a chance to fix it. First and foremost. If you can recognize it, you got to give people a chance to fix it. But there's a part of him, I think, that's like, well, do I even really want to? Do I really want to fix it and, like, dig that deep? Or do I just want to leave this how it is and just kind of take it as a loss? So that's the struggle. Another part of it, like I mentioned, for me was just reaching out to people. Like, I'm a huge proponent. It's not as, I would say any social media, of just, like, reaching out to people. Like, if I come across someone's Instagram post or someone's TikTok post and, I don't know, like, something interests me, or I'm like, oh my goodness, this person's so beautiful, I love their energy, whatever, I'd rather just say it, like, hey, your energy's dope as hell. You know what I mean? And just see if they respond. Because, like, what's the worst thing that could happen? They don't respond. That's okay. But I really feel like people should treat platonic relationships like dating, where you're, like, vetting multiple people and getting to know people and stuff. Joan said, I do too much in any relationship, be it friend or partner. I'm the biggest hype man, all that. I had a problem. Oh, I feel you, Jones. I feel you. Good morning, Lincoln. Welcome in, love. But I do feel like we need to just practice doing that. Like, whether it be, whether it be in person and doing so in like, you know, IRL environments, or why? Why do you want to eat my face? Why? Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is the head bob? Are you a dolphin? Raylene says, yeah, I feel that, where I'm like, something bad happens and I'm like, oh, they're actually not the right friend for me, so do I even want to fix this? Then I just kind of cut people out. I do tell them why, but yeah, it doesn't feel right, but I can't think of other ways. He does want my face. I'm so scared. I feel you, Raylene, and it can be really scary. It can feel, I mean, because it's a vulnerable place to put yourself. Kyru, why are you headbutting my shoulder? It's a vulnerable place to put yourself in. But at the end of the day, again, we are beings that are meant to be interdependent. We're not meant to just be on this earth by ourselves, you know? And honestly, you could cultivate 2 solid friendships, you know, over the span of your life. And again, those friendships might end, and that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time, you know? Fergie says, ooh, that sounds like my baby shower for my last child. I just let it go and didn't bother reaching out. I just felt that I wasn't worth anyone's times. Mostly why I keep to myself now. Oh, Fergie boo. See, and that's hard, because even when we go through the situations where we're like, is it worth it? You know, is it worth reaching out to this person and telling them what they did wrong? The answer is yes. Not only just for that other person, but also for yourself, because the more that you can practice that communication, the better you'll be at doing it in the future when you meet someone and you're like, yo, this person's dope as hell and I really want to remain their friend. Imagine how much easier it'll be to say, hey friend, you know, you said this and it really hurt my feelings, you know, blah, 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 blah. Because you've been able to practice saying it so many times to people who, you know, maybe those relationships fell off and yada, yada, yada. It does require a lot of emotional energy. It does require just a lot, period. But I definitely would encourage you to just give it a try. You know, just over-communicate as much as you possibly can. Not over-explain, but if someone does something that makes you feel some sort of way, say something, you know? Good morning, Spuddy Love. Welcome in, Boo Boo Bear. How are you? Interesting subject today. Well, we touched on it yesterday, Lincoln, and I kind of wanted to expand, continue. But, yeah, it's important that we practice. I'm not going to say try. I feel like trying is so immeasurable, right? Y'all know I like maths. Practice. Practice having those conversations. Good morning! Practice telling people when you needed something from them and they didn't pull through, because there are chances that they didn't know. You know what I mean? There are absolute chances. Good morning, buddy. There are absolutely chances that they didn't know what you needed from them. Yes. Yes. Can everyone in the chat say hello to DJ? He has arrived. Let me see you. DJ's here. He has arrived. Lincoln says, this is a big theme in all my failed serious relationships. I feel that.
Hi.
DJ has arrived. Good morning, DJ. Good morning, DJ. Good morning, DJ.
Why,
You're gonna say it. The thing I can't deal with is when those people act in a negative way.
well, how are you doing, Carl? How are you doing to
DJ wants to know how everyone's doing. The thing I can't deal with is when those people react in a negative way. Not as in being disappointed, but most of everyone I've told boundaries to, friends included, have blown up and started being emotionally abusive. So then I'm like,
we forgot to. Well, it's the 23rd.
No, today's the 30th.
It's the 30th.
Yeah. You want to go hang your jacket up downstairs, or you can go back?
Well, we got. Well,
Yeah, you
we
can
don't
back
have
there.
any. We don't have any more school.
We do have school.
No, right there.
Yeah, we do. That's the next month. It's February. I hear you, Raylene. And that
Where
can
we go
feel.
on Tinkers. Where we go to John's Carolina Pizza?
Yes, we're gonna go to John's Incredible Pizza next month.
Where?
I'll show you after
What date?
I will tell you the dates as soon as we figure it out.
Good morning. Please say good morning.
Take off your shoes, buddy.
Good morning, Lincoln.
Go ahead and you can go put your stuff downstairs real quick. No one's going anywhere. When you receive those kinds of responses, it can absolutely make it very difficult to continue placing those boundaries. The thing that you have to remember is that the way that those people react is 100,000% about them and not about you at all. Now, that doesn't make it any less hurtful, you know what I mean? But moving in a way in which are you saying when you give them less than them? I think she's just saying like when she places. I think that's what she's saying, Lincoln. When she's overgiving and they're not giving, and she places boundaries and lets them know like what she needs, then that's what she receives back. You know, is that kind of backlash. So I think this is when we really have to practice putting systems in place to keep ourselves safe and to kind of nurture and give ourselves grace and self-compassion and all of those things that we need in that moment, you know, from feeling betrayed and hurt, you know, like what do we do? How do we speak to ourselves when people behave in that way? You know, what are our next steps? Do we just leave it and say, oh my goodness, it probably was my fault? Or do we place the accountability on that person and say they responded in that way because they are not emotionally intelligent enough to have this conversation, relationship, etc.
We got a new engine.
Oh my, that's a very pretty engine.
You can press this. Watch this. Totally makes sounds of this engine. And that works.
I thought they were bringing it up to Raylene and she's not putting in the same effort. Oh, okay, I gotcha. So you tell them your boundaries to settle them down. I think she tells them her boundaries in an effort to like level out the relationship, in an effort to have communication too, because essentially the purpose of the purpose of boundaries is to improve a relationship, you know, because I don't believe that we would place boundaries for someone who we don't intend on keeping people in our lives, like lessen their involvement and effort so it balances out. See, but in this situation, Lincoln, Raylene is the one who's giving more than she's receiving. So she's placing boundaries to let them know, like, you know, this is what I need from you, or et cetera, et cetera. And remember that boundaries don't necessarily have to be like you need less of something from someone. It could be that you need more of something from someone. That could still be a boundary. A boundary could be, you know, unless I need you to do this in order for us to continue this relationship. Or no, I'm sorry. If you don't do this, I will no longer participate in this relationship. Sundai says, I was never allowed in any relationships I have been in to set any boundaries. And if I did, it didn't matter. I did what I was told. Now I'm in a relationship and struggling with me constantly apologizing and ask them if they're okay. I'm not used to having the ability to say no or have any input. And that's a really tough place to be in, Sundai, because there's a part of us that, especially when we're in a relationship, and I feel like that's what makes the difference. When we're in a romantic relationship versus a platonic relationship, there's a part of us that really, really, really wants the romantic relationship to thrive. And there's another part of us that's okay with if the platonic relationship falls off. But I really feel like we have to look at both of these types of relationships equally in that way. It is okay if you're in a romantic relationship with someone and it doesn't work. You know, just as easily and quickly as we are willing to say, this friendship isn't working, you know, obviously we have different interests, different whatever, like let's just go our separate ways. We need to keep that same energy when it comes to we need to keep that same energy when it comes to romantic relationships too, because at the end of the day, it's about who we want in our lives. It's about who we want to continue to build this connection with, right? And it doesn't matter if we have a romantic interest in this person or not. We should still be holding them accountable to show up, or at least practice showing up, you know? And so it really all begins with a conversation. So I think to help Lincoln out, a conversation that would be boundary setting is like, even in a platonic or romantic relationship, would be, when I am excited, you know, here are the ways that I like to celebrate, you know. When I am feeling overwhelmed, here are the things that, you know, I would appreciate from someone who's close to me. You know, I feel like those kinds of communication, although they don't necessarily feel like boundaries, but they are, because those are rules of engagement. You are communicating to this person what you need in different situations. You know, when you're feeling really great, when you want to celebrate something, when you're not feeling the best, when you get really quiet, you know, what that means and what you need, when you want to share something vulnerable with them, communicating with this person and letting them know, like, what you need from them, what you would like to get from them, because you can't control how someone else shows up for you, but you can communicate what you need. For example, when I was communicating with my ex about the domestic violence relationship that I was in, I did not know what I needed from him, so I just said it, and he was like, well, I don't want to talk about that if it makes you sad. When in reality, I should have shared with him, you know, I'm going to share something vulnerable with you, and in this moment, I just need you to listen. I'm not looking for you to fix anything. I'm not looking for advice. I just would really like a safe space for you to listen. You know, is that something that you can provide? And if he says yes, then I can proceed to share with him. Lincoln says, so does that equate to level of overall effort in a relationship? Well, here's the thing about effort. Effort is going to be measured differently by each person. My level of effort might, like, what I require or what I need from the other person, whether it be romantic or platonic, might be less than what the other person needs, or it might be perceived as less. For example, if I need someone to just check in with me, like a genuine check-in every couple of days, and that could be romantic or platonic relationships. I need someone to just, you know, kind of sit me down, distraction-free, and say, hey, like, how are you really feeling right now? That could be something that I need, but that could be something that my partner doesn't need. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just that they are, like, the difference between me and Grover, for example. I would benefit from him sitting me down and asking me that, whereas he's the type of person that's just going to come out and tell me, you know, and he just needs me to hold space for him when he says it. He'll share it with me openly versus me needing someone to, like, grab me by the hand and, like, stop the whirlwind and say, hey, how are you really doing? You know what I mean? Those are two very different things, but they kind of equate to the same kind of thing, like a check-in. I need someone to grab me and make me pause and check in with me. He needs someone to be there and available and present when he's ready to share that check-in, you know, whatever he's experiencing, whatever he's going through. Lincoln says, so for one partner, they'd need that check-in while the other is just fine with how things are. My trouble is seeing how that is healthy or compatible. Well, see, that's the thing that I really can't explain. Like, I wouldn't be able to quantify or justify the compatibility of two people. It really just comes down to, do you know what you need, and are you comfortable communicating it? That's really what it comes down to. And then, is that person that you're communicating it to either able to meet that need right now, or are they willing to practice doing what's needed to meet that need? You know, like, if you come to me and you say, hey, I really need you every once in a while, every, twice a week or so, to grab me and check in with me. If that's something that I want to do and I'm willing to do, then that's something that I have to practice doing. I can't just say, yeah, I got you, and then just never do it. If that's not something I'm capable of doing, then I need to say that. You know what, love? Like, that sounds really difficult. I'm not sure if I'll be able to commit to doing that. You know what I mean? Lincoln says, because the person who needs the check-in is going to want it. That person is going to ultimately feel ignored or abandoned. Compromise. Compromise is an easy word to use but hard to practice. There's always give and take. Absolutely. Okay, wait, Lincoln. Because the person who needs the check-in is going to want it. That person is ultimately going to feel ignored or abandoned. You mean the person who needs their partner to kind of pause and grab them? Yeah, there's never 50%. Absolutely. 50% is a myth. It's definitely not a thing that exists in any type of relationship over the entire span of your lifetime. I mentioned that like way in the beginning too. Someone will have to give more somewhere to find balance later. But that's where the communication comes in. If this is something that I need, right? Here's a great example. If I need Grover to pause 2 to 3 times a week and say, and grab me by the hand and say, hey, how are you? And he's like, you know what, that would be really difficult for me to do. What are some other solutions? Perhaps I say, okay, how about we schedule it? How about every Tuesday and Friday after work, after the kids go to bed, you and I sit together and we check in. Okay, cool. So now I get my needs met by having that check-in. And I don't have to blame him for not grabbing me by the hand and pulling me aside. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's scheduled for both of us so that we can both be present at the time. We know that it's happening. It's a regular thing that we practice. We have that consistency. I still get my needs met for checking in. He still gets his needs met because his need is that when he has that whim of that feeling, maybe he just comes to me and says, hey, do you have a moment? Like, do you have the space? I just need some whatever. And at that time, I can say yes or no. You know what I mean? But the important thing there is for both of us to be communicating what we need to each other. But first we have to determine what it is that we need. You know what I mean? Like, I have to know what it is that I need. Joan says, someone will always have to give somewhere to find balance later. At least that's how I've always perceived it. Lincoln says, sacrifice means you don't get what you want or need. So it's easy to use with tangibles, but not with abstracts like love and attention. Sacrificing your needs in a relationship doesn't work. That's true. It doesn't. Sundar says, relationships need 100% between both parties. Some days it may very well be one partner at 30% while the other partner gives 70%. It fluctuates on what they're immensely capable of giving that day. That's absolutely true. Because on days that I'm like burnt out with mommy stuff, I can't. But I can communicate that to Grover. You know what I mean? Like, if he comes home at the end of work and I'm completely mentally burnt out and he needs a space to vent, he could say, hey babe, do you have a moment? Like, I really need to share. And I could say, right now, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I could do something to help me get into a better space. Or I could say, is there any way that maybe you could journal about it and then we could touch base about it tomorrow or something like that. You know what I mean? But the worst thing would be for him to say, hey, well, 2 worst case scenarios. He reaches out to me and says, hey, I need to vent. And I say, no, like, just absolutely not, no. That would be a terrible situation because now again, he's not getting his needs met. Another terrible situation would be, what a cute emote. Another terrible situation would be him saying, hey, do you have a space to vent? And then me putting my needs and my mental overstimulation aside and saying, yeah, I have mental space. Him venting to me and I don't have the mental space, and then me getting really frustrated or just not being present. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be that communication. Lincoln says, I can see that it would need communication. Sundai says, very true, and I have zero problem communicating to you with you. Coffee hasn't kicked in. Joan says that would still be both words, but with effective communication. It revolves back to that. Absolutely. If you can't communicate, you're never getting anywhere. That's it right there. And when it comes to communication, going way back to, vetting people and connecting with people and seeing if we can potentially build relationships with people, what we're practicing is our communication skills. We're practicing being able to tell people, hey, when I first meet someone, it's I like to video chat with them so I can get to know them better. Or, if we're not in a close physical proximity to each other and we can't go hang out somewhere at the mall or something, it would be cool if, we had a video chat, platonic or romantic, whatever, and if that person's like, well, that's freaking weird, then that's fine. Move on. There are how many people on the planet? 7 billion or something like that. You're bound to find people who you connect with, but most of the time we're very down to go on dating sites, for example, because essentially everyone there is there for romantic relationships for the most part. And I feel like social media, I feel like everyone is always seeking new friends. I feel like people sometimes say that they're not seeking new friends because, similar to what Raylene was saying, they've had bad experiences with new friends, and so they're like, nah, I don't want to go through that experience again. Joan says the issue is for our generation in particular. We weren't given many lanes to be able to communicate or express ourselves. It was shut down a lot at childhood, and as a result, in adulthood, most don't want to do that. Feel it. Completely 100% agree, Jones. Sundai says there is a whole ocean, but some people cling to one fish who's not compatible. It's true. It's absolutely true. And Jones, you're completely echoing what Raylene said as far as, just us not knowing how to do this. Us not knowing how to communicate what we want, what we like, what we don't like. Because like you said, we literally weren't given the space and opportunity to do so. And so this is completely foreign and it's brand new, and that's okay. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to tell someone one thing and then say, you know what, after a little more reflection, I've actually realized that this would be better for me, or whatever. Like I said, she said, quote, because you already know them dating websites, people just looking to do other things. But yeah. Sundai says, since I am currently in a long distance relationship, my way of bonding spending time are phone calls, co-op video games, just sending random photos to my phone. Right. Yeah, and that may be a lot for some. Absolutely. Bruh, AOL and Yahoo Chat gave me the ability to see many viewpoints that physical dating or communication wouldn't have been giving. Those AIM chat rooms, ASL, HS location, I remember all that. Jones says, even with social media, it's supposed to be a way to meet and communicate with others, and yet you have people that say that's not what it's for. Or you talk too much, or you're too friendly, it's all toxic. I agree. And again, those are people that we just know not to include in our communication or in our circles. We definitely have to be choosy because, let's be honest, our energy is precious. Not only is our energy precious, but our attention and our time is precious. So when it comes to cutting people off and just deciding this isn't for you, sometimes it's good to be quick with it so that you don't devote or spend too much time on a relationship that's not worth building in the first place. But if you start building a relationship with someone and you're and then they do something, dig a little deeper, and always put people's behaviors above the things that they say. Always. Because actions absolutely speak louder than words. And I think that's also something that we had to learn on our own, that we did not learn based on our childhood. Because people were constantly saying to us, do as I say and not as I do, and then doing ratchet shit. Schnitzel, excuse me. And we had to kind of tiptoe around it, so-and-so always says this, but they do this. So what am I supposed to trust? And then we get hit with do as I say and not as I do. And I'm like, but you know, like, I'm not sure, you know, I'm feeling a little hesitant to believe that. Right, ratchet tomfoolery, just not showing up, moving in a way that's unethical, whatever. Lincoln says, I feel a problem of mine is that I soak in that attention and demand more, which drains more effort from my partner. I definitely need to work on patience and valuing what I'm given. See, but I hear you, Lincoln, but I also feel like there is someone who is down to give you all of that attention, like constantly. You know what I mean? Another really difficult part of this situation is that we tend to overdo when we first meet someone. We tend to show up as 150% of ourselves instead of just ourselves, because we want to be liked, we want to be loved, and yada yada yada. And in doing so, you know, you meet someone like Lincoln and you give him 150% of your attention, and he's like, yes, this is amazing, this is exactly what I want, this is exactly what I need. And then that begins to fizzle, and you leave him like, well, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Like, why is this happening? And then they hit him with, well, you were too much in the first place. And it's like, nah, dog, I was real from the jump. You were the one who was fronting and being a lot more than you actually are, you know? Jones said, trust me, do what I do. It typically works. What do you do, Jones? Sundai says, actions and energy need to match. Absolutely. Lincoln says, I'm definitely a direct sunlight plant when it comes to love. You a cacti. I feel it. I feel it. Sundai says, I'd give you all the attention in the world, sir. But yeah, that's another struggle, is how do we navigate through the people who are showing up too much in the beginning? And I don't want to say too much, but like I said, just like overdoing it. They're trying to they're trying to put on not only their, you know, their best foot forward, but their, you know, whole damn outfit. I'm kicking down Lincoln's door with, let me love you. But I think that's another conversation that we need to have is, you know, I know that it's something that we do ourselves, you know, like and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the people-pleasing tendencies. Jones says, I feel that though. I lay things on pretty thick because I don't see the point in holding back. I'd say I give 80% of myself off rip and feed in the other 20% as we're growing together. I feel that, Jones. See, but that's still just you. You know what I mean? Like, that still comes to just 100% of you. When I was younger, it was full force. Hey, this me, like me, please. I know, right? But it's the people who give more than they are capable of being consistent with. That's the thing. That's the thing. And women did not like that at all. Those women didn't. Some women do. You doing too much. That's because they were insecure. Absolutely. Or they felt as though, yes.
We got a chocolate donut.
You got a chocolate donut?
Yes.
Would you get me a chocolate donut?
Yeah, we can, but we can share a castle.
Can you have some? Did you eat breakfast? Yeah, you can have some donut. Just make sure you drink some water. I'll be down there in a second.
Okay.
I think that maybe, Jones, those women were also comparing and thinking, like, I can't compete with this. I can't. Right. Right. Raylene coming out the cut. Did I hear chocolate donut? Right. I don't even know how many donuts. It might just be one. It might be plural. I don't know. But that's another conversation, is how do you cope with that, you know, with hearing you're doing too much? Again, I think that those women were comparing and thinking, he's doing all this and I can't compete with that. When in reality, they didn't need to. Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, wow. Okay, you gotta take it downstairs, buddy. It's gonna be messy.
Did I hear chocolate donut?
Yeah,
Yes, it is a donut. I got a chocolate donut.
So you want to show them your donut?
Check this out.
Check this out. It's a chocolate donut. Okay, go ahead downstairs, buddy. I'll be there in a second.
Okay, can I eat some?
Yes, you can eat some. Anywho, y'all. Right. This has been a wonderful conversation. I appreciate you all being here with me. I've been forgetting to do my shout out, so I need to do that. Alright, here we go. We're laying it on thick. Alright. Shout out to one of the dopest WoW streamers this side of the Mississippi. Actually, I don't know what side of the Mississippi you're on, love. But Jones is an incredible WoW streamer, and if you're interested in playing World of Warcraft, if you're interested in learning how to raid, if you're interested in just being a non-noob, check out Jones' stream. He's a wonderful raid leader, and he's a black man, so you know you have to trust him, okay? Just do it. Just do it. Alright, if you are in the mood for cozy, loving vibes from a fellow life coach, I'm on the other side like Adele. If you are interested in cozy, loving vibes from a fellow life coach who loves potatoes, check out Spuddy's stream. Spuddy will always deliver the most intricate and amazing sim builds. The houses are, the people that she creates are bomb.com too. If you are interested in another streamer who streams The Sims with all the expansions that make your head spin, I mean, like alien invasions, all kinds of incredible stuff and cool challenges, check out Fergie's stream. Also, her voice will make you contemplate your sexuality. Not gonna lie. Spuddy's will too. Let's keep it all the way. Jones's will too. Look, everybody in the stream got bomb voices. I'm just saying, everybody in here needs an ASMR redemption. If you are down to watch a super cool dude who plays retro games and never feels like you can die too many times, check out Lincoln's stream. Lincoln streams incredible games. He's crazy intelligent, and it comes through in the way that he speaks. It's amazing. I'm a heavy romantic. I threw a lot that may drown some and turn some away, but my problem is I expect the same without any build-up. I'm just not patient. See, but Lincoln, you can expect that. You just gotta give it time. Of course, it's my pleasure. I've only been in one of this lovely lady's streams, but it was amazing. Sundai is a super sweet streamer. Her voice will also get you going. Let me not even get started on voices. Oh my goodness, y'all. And you can't see her, so it's like even more like she be having you in a chokehold. Her commentary is hilarious. She's a super, super sweetheart, and y'all need to check out her stream. If you're not following her, do so already. Who did I forget? Raylene is here, and I love her so much, but she don't stream. Who did I miss? I missed Goddess. I don't know if Goddess streams. Does Goddess stream? I don't know if Goddess streams. Man says hit me with his dictionary. Right. It's attractive as hell. I don't know what he's saying. But sometimes I'll be like, say it again. Do I really sound like a dictionary? I mean, Lincoln, your vocabulary is very vast. It's wonderful. And you speak with like a lot of intention, and it's 10 out of 10 top notch. It's the voices for me, y'all. Like, I don't know what it is. Since I've started streaming and since I've started watching streamers more often, I'm like, these voices, like, everybody need a podcast. I need to go back down south. Why? Don't you dare. Don't you go nowhere. Anywho, I don't think I forgot anybody. I don't think Goddess streams. My voice is normal. I mean, I've heard that my voice is soothing. But, I mean, I can't hear my own voice. My voice don't like that when I wake up. No, Jones. No. Your voice is always like that. I need to make my words sound more normal. Her voice makes me purchase that merchants. Thank you, Goddess. I appreciate you, my love. Press in our ears and eyes. Stop it. Stop it. This face gives androgyny. It gives... Is that an adult woman or a teenage boy? It doesn't even matter. Oh my goodness. Your words are perfect. Exactly, your words are perfect. Okay, my loves. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's a great free way to support my channel. If you're interested in supporting me in ways that require a little bit of dollars, a few dollars, some money, check out my shop. If you're catching this replay on YouTube, the links will be in the description. That's my voice. Is that a little boy or girl? Sundai, look. When we was over there on your stream, crushing over that pirate lady, and Sundai was like, I don't even want to make the noise. I know, baby girl, 6 months old. But Sundai was making me melt. I was like, yo, I want to play this game. I want to play with Sundai. Like, Sundai, where you at? I need a new friend. Come through immediately. But yeah, if you're catching this replay on YouTube, I like your boyish voice, Tomboy Zell. SundaiIsTheBomb.com. All of you are incredible. I appreciate all of you that stream so much. I appreciate all of you. Kiss me already. I appreciate all of you that just pop in here for support and don't stream. I just love you all so much. I'm so happy that I have been able to... Y'all, Thursday will be 2 months that I've been streaming. 2 months. So I gotta do something special on Thursday. Y'all give me some ideas. Right. Right. I don't even care what it is. I just support it. Sundai and Lincoln got it. It's... Right, 2 months, 24-hour stream when? With children? Oh my goodness. I might be able to do a 24-hour stream on like Saturday or like Friday, you know what I mean? We gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it. But yeah, I did one 24-hour stream, never again. Yo, that 12-hour stream, Lincoln is my wife, love him. That 12-hour stream almost took me out. It was a good stream, though. It was a really, really good stream. So maybe I'll have a, not a subathon, but maybe like a shopathon stream or something like that. Oh, thank you. It doesn't even feel like 2 months. Like, this is breezed by. I don't feel any like fatigue. I don't feel any sign of stopping. Sleepy is my hubby. Hold me, baby. You two are freaking adorable. Okay, I need to go, because I gotta get DJ ready for school. I love you all. I'm gonna raid into someone. Let me see who's on real quick. Let me raid into somebody. I know Fire Sound's probably on, because he's always on at this time. Who else is on? Who's that? Oh, Curls is on. TK is on. Shaka's on. What's Shaka playing? Liam is on. Kaju's on. Oh my goodness. Who should I raid into? I don't know. Help me, friends. I got these holding arms. Ready, baby girl. Today we're going to raid into Shaka. Let me make sure that I spell her name right. Or spell their name right. Hold on, y'all. It's... Okay, cool. Alright, y'all. Does she? Okay. Or do they? Okay. Raid. Okay, perfect. Wait, is that how I do it? Aw, Shaka was stressed. No, baby. Is it slash raid? Okay, it's slash raid. SHAKAABABYY. Okay, I spelled it right. Okay, my loves. This chat has follower or subscriber only chat. Yes. Okay, everyone, real quick, say goodbye to DJ.
Well, but
we're gonna raid into Shaka.
where's Shaka? Is he here?
No, we're gonna go right now. Okay, y'all.
See you.
See you, DJ.
See you, DJ. Later.
Thank you all, loves.
Later. Bye, DJ.
Alright, let me pull up.
Who's that?
That's an ad. I'm in school.
Woozy.
Okay, Woozy.
Can you say Woozy? Come Woozy, say bye.
Woozy, say bye to DJ. We're leaving, love. We are raiding out. This stream is over. I'm in the bathroom. I'm done. See you, DJ.
Aw. Go.
Woozy, take your bathroom break.
Close up. Get out of the chat.
Get out of the chat.
Oh.
Gotta check in. Hey, DJ. All right, loves. We're raiding now. Here we go.
Did it hang up?
No.